The airlock cycled while the shackles were still being welded, and Dell Ferrand had 6 minutes to decide whether he was going to let a woman burn. He crouched on the outer skin of the transfer barge with a plasma cutter dead in his glove, staring through the observation slit at the cell they had built for her. Not a cell, a cradle. Vashan engineering was beautiful that way. The frame held the prisoner upright at the exact center of a sphere of mirrored panels, and every panel was angled to concentrate the light of the star they were falling toward onto one point. The point was her chest. Ferrand, Overseer Tuluk's voice came through the barge channel, patient, almost warm. Step away from the hull. Your contract covers thermal maintenance. It does not cover the sentencing frame. Frame's leaking, Dell said. Coolant line on the dorsal spine. You want it leaking when you're 12 hours from the corona? A pause. Tuluk was not stupid. That was the problem. Repair it. Touch nothing else. Dell moved along the spine, magnetic boots clicking, and let himself look at her for the first time. Princess Serevahn of the Ninth Hearth had a face built for a species that lived in caves and hunted by heat. Wide, flat nostrils. Eyes that were mostly pupil. Her arms were folded back into the frame at an angle that would have torn a human shoulder from its socket, and she was not struggling, because Vashan did not struggle. Struggling was an admission that the sentence was unjust, and the sentence had been read aloud by her own uncle in front of her own household. She was watching him work. You are the human, she said. Her translator was cheap and made her sound tired. The maintenance one. Dell, you should not speak to me. It contaminates the sentence. He fed a length of patch tubing into the coolant break and sealed it. Contaminates it how? The sentence is a legal object. She said it the way a person says the sun is hot. It was written by the Hearth Court. It specifies the manner, the duration, and the instrument. If any part of it is altered, the sentence becomes void, and the court must reconvene. This has not happened in 4 generations. Therefore, it will not happen. Dell stopped moving. He looked at the frame again. Really looked. The mirrored panels. The clamps. The barge itself, drifting on a decaying arc toward a star that would do the rest of the work for free. He looked at the little engraved plate riveted to the base of the cradle, dense with Vashan script, the only part of the whole apparatus that had been made by hand. That plate, he said. Is that the sentence? That is the sentence. The actual legal document. Bolted to the machine. Where else would it be? Dell had spent 22 years fixing things that other people designed badly. He had learned that every system in the universe has one component that everybody treats as decoration, and that component is always load-bearing. Overseer, he said into the channel. Dorsal line's patched, but I've got corrosion on the sentencing plate. Salt from the coolant. It's eating the script. The pause this time was longer. Photograph it, Tuluk said. I did. Sending, he sent a real image. The corrosion was real. He had made it real 90 seconds earlier with a squeeze of the same coolant he had just been paid to contain. Tuluk arrived on the hull in person 11 minutes later, and Dell had to stand there and watch a creature twice his mass go very still in front of a piece of metal. The instrument clause is illegible, Tuluk said. That bad? The clause specifies the star. The overseer's throat sacs flattened. Without the named instrument, the sentence does not describe a death. It describes an object falling. So we fix the plate. You cannot fix the plate. Tuluk turned toward him with real anger, and it was the first honest thing the alien had done. A sentence is not repaired. It is spoken. It must be reconvened, re-argued, and reread in the presence of the accused at the hearth, by a quorum that presently sits 3 systems distant and will not assemble for 2 seasons. Okay, Dell said. So we turn the barge around. We turn the barge around. Serevahn said nothing at all. But she had turned her head slowly to look at the plate, and Dell understood then that she had known. She had told him where the document was. She had told him what altering it would do. She had explained her own execution to him in precise legal detail. Once, calmly. And then waited to see if the maintenance one was worth anything. He had been the instrument the whole time. That was the part he would think about later. The Hearth Court reconvened on the 17th day. Dell was there because Vashan law required the corroding agent to be present, and because Tuluk had spent the transit reading everything the human archive would give him about human contract disputes, and had arrived at a conclusion that made his skin tighten. He sat in the gallery in a borrowed pressure suit while Serevahn's uncle, Regent Hallam, stood before the quorum and argued that the original sentence should be read from memory. The quorum refused. Memory was not an instrument. So Hallam drafted a new sentence, and that was where he made his sensible, catastrophic move. He wrote it to be uncorrodable. He wrote it into the ship. Not a plate this time, but the barge's own registry core, sealed behind 3 meters of hull, unalterable. Self-verifying, a document that could not be scratched by any human with a coolant bottle. It was elegant. It was the correct engineering response to the exact failure they had suffered. It also meant the sentence and the vessel were now one legal object. Dell raised his hand. Point of maintenance, he said, and the translator carried it across the whole chamber. That barge is human flagged. Salvage lease. Filed with the Vashan Registry Office 22 months ago. I fixed her hull. I've got the lien. Hallam did not understand. The quorum did. You are claiming the instrument, one of them said. I'm claiming the ship, Dell said. The instrument's just riding in it. They took 4 days. Dell slept in a corridor. On the third night, Serevahn was walked past him under guard and she stopped, and the guards let her stop, which told him something had already shifted. If they rule against you, she said, you will be executed alongside me for obstruction. I know. Why? Dell thought about how to say it. He was tired and his hands hurt, and there was no clean answer. Because you told me where the plate was, he said. You gave me the one thing that could break it, and then you didn't ask me to use it. You just laid it down and walked away from it. He looked up at her. Nobody does that unless they've already decided they'd rather die honest than live begging. I wasn't going to let that be the last thing that happened to you. She did not thank him. Vashan did not thank. She pressed 2 fingers against the wall beside his head, held them there, and went with the guards. The ruling came at the start of the 5th day. The instrument belonged to the human. A sentence could not be carried out in a vessel the court did not own, and the court could not seize it without voiding the sentence a second time. And a sentence voided twice could not be brought against the same accused. Serevahn walked out of the frame on her own feet. The cost came an hour later in the registry office, where Dell signed the barge over to the Hearth Court as compensation for the obstruction. It was the only vessel he had ever owned. The lien had been his retirement, his rig, the 22 years. He signed it with a stylus that did not fit his hand and slid it across the desk. Hallam was not arrested. Regents were not arrested. He was simply no longer permitted to speak in the chamber, and he stood at the edge of the courtyard as the barge was towed off toward a breaking yard, watching a piece of his own perfect law get dismantled for scrap. Serevahn found Dell on the landing platform afterward, sitting on his tool case because there was nowhere else to sit. She held out the sentencing plate. Somebody had cut it free of the cradle before the tow. The script was still half-eaten by salt, the corrosion frozen mid-sentence, the instrument claws a smear of white bloom on gray metal. It is legally nothing now, she said. Dell turned it over in his hands. It was lighter than he expected. Most things were. He took the cutter off his belt, set the plate on his knee, and began scoring a straight, clean line across the ruined claws, the way he had scored 1,000 patch panels, while the tow lights of the barge that used to be his got smaller and smaller behind her shoulder.